All right, so I'm going to have a little fun with you, Brian, and we actually did this on LinkedIn. I want to put that brain to the test again. On LinkedIn, I think we talked about what your thoughts were on the future of AI. I'd like to go a little more broad here and say, can you give us 3 predictions for the future of ad tech and beyond that's going to be brand relevant, of course, to some of the folks here?
Yeah, this is a super salient, and I think I just got to ask, just why not? Because I'm going to try some interactivity here, though. But does anyone here own any cryptocurrency, like a Bitcoin or Ethereum? Put up your hand.
Steven, really?
2 folks.
Oh, all right.
Okay, how many of you are thinking about buying a crypto coin or something? Just put up your hand. So so people are curious.
I don't understand it well enough to consider buying it.
I was just going to ask.
So
for those of you who didn't put up your hand, is the reason because you're like, this shit is so weird. It sounds like it's like some like hacky thing and some underground black box thing, and I don't want to do it because I might get the IRS might go after me. Is that the reason?
That's pretty much I'm sitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so why I'm bringing this up is I just recommend just when you have. And I know you'll have busy lives, but you got 20 minutes in the car to the airport, or you're in line at Starbucks, go read up on a blockchain. In fact, the best sort of primer I read up on blockchain is Goldman Sachs, believe it or not, has a website that they've made, which is this ultra interactive sort of thing that just explains to really a 5-year-old will understand it after it. Wow. Like, it's that good. Yeah. Not that I think my intelligence is of a 5-year-old, but I'm just saying this type of shit is hard to understand sometimes. But just Google Goldman Sachs blockchain, and you'll get like the best primer for those of you who aren't really kind of versed with it. I saw that site now, 4 months ago. And since then, I've done obviously a lot more digging, whatever. I truly believe that in the next 5 to 10 years, which I know is a very broad range, there will be a dominant blockchain technology that is leveraged in ad tech, and what is designed to do. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, the blockchain is essentially a decentralized ledger of transactions or things that are taking place, so that there is no central authority controlling or sort of manipulating the market. Which, by the way, sounds like a great way to record media transactions and buys and the user that saw the ad and what they did, and make sure that there's no fraud or viewability issues, and solve essentially a large chunk of the pain that we're facing in the industry right now, which are one of the things I just said. So I believe blockchain has that opportunity to do this today.
That's really cool. If I'm hearing that correctly, you're explaining that blockchain will be extremely critical in one-to-one marketing. Is that what you're?
Just in any media buying, right? Because at the end of the day, what is a media buy in an advertising transaction? It is, I'm buying you as a person,
right?
But through the intermediary of a media and the medium, and the medium in this case could be your phone, could be the television ad, could be the newspaper. Every one of these impressions effectively has a unique ID to it. It should be, and every impression should be unique because it's a function of time and a function of you. You can't duplicate you, or you can't duplicate the second you saw it. So in essence, these are all unique transactions that should be on the blockchain. And so this may not be technology that we see. And it may not be, like, this is the challenge I see. Like Kochava, which is a company some of you may have heard of, released actually a week ago or 2 weeks ago a white paper on their blockchain initiative. They have a similar vision to what I'm saying. They're calling it exchange with no vowels. And my concern is that by making it too explicitly blockchain and nerdy, the industry is just not going to adopt it, right? Because I'm just being honest, not everyone is going to understand this stuff right off the bat. But if you package it up and you put that as the back-end technology of what might be a dominant DSP or a media exchange, and they're based on blockchain technology, that might be a way to make a win. The biggest concern I have is that obviously we have a duopoly situation here, and unless one or two of those attempts to acknowledge or at least even attempt to use blockchain and how they do their things, we may have an issue of adoption. But I don't think that totally negates the legitimacy of that type of technology being a part of advertising. So that's my first prediction, is blockchain. The second is, I know it sounds a bit novel right now, but AR, not VR, augmented reality will be a big part of our ad creative moving forward. I think with the iPhone 10, which, who has their iPhone 10 already? Didn't it come out today? I guess all of you were here, so you weren't in line like an idiot trying to get an iPhone 10. I know, I didn't do it. I wasn't in line like an idiot.
All right.
Mine is shipping December 9th. I like literally woke up 3 hours too late to pre-order it, and my punishment is I have to wait a month to have a Rob Me device on me. But anyways, point is, that what I love about Apple is they ultra simplify tech, right? So they have these cute animojis now, and it's more about facial mapping. It's more sophisticated technology than you pretending to be a bear, when you're texting someone, and then AR. So they have an AR engine, they have AR experiences that are going to loop in, and eventually my mom's going to experience AR things, and my dad's going to try AR things, and that's exciting. And I think the more common that becomes, the more advertisers can then leverage it, right? I think that's the way media evolves, is the more the average sort of Joe and Jill is able to accept and introduce that technology into their lifestyle, the more the advertiser can then leverage it. So I think that's the starting point, and I'll put money on the fact that Apple's cheaper iPhones will have it, and that there are cheaper smartphones that'll eventually have it. So yes, today it is very elitist, and it's going to be only rich people that can do it. But technically, people who have cheaper smartphones can still experience AR. It's just I'm saying that the iPhone 10 was designed in many ways to make that experience almost central to how you interact. And I think that's just one of those things. And I really hope, and here's my only caveat to this prediction, I really hope that Magic Leap doesn't colossally fail, right? And is that am I totally having a brain fart? Is that the company that raised like $2 billion and doesn't have a product yet? Is it called? It's called Magic Leap, right?
Leap, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm very terrified, right, that will just completely explode. And in that case, AR will be few steps back, just because people will go, wait, how could something be so hyped and then just not exist, right? But that might just be in our circles, because ask someone in anywhere else but San Francisco, New York, or Florida, where Magic Leap is, what Magic Leap is, they wouldn't know, right?
Sure. So. All right. Did you have one more prediction for us?
Oh yeah, the third prediction. There will be an alternative cookie.
Interesting.
So right now, cookies are still the dominant ID for advertising, and was set by the browsers, and we just don't use our browsers anymore, like our desktop browsers. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I should rephrase. I do use Chrome and Firefox or whatever and Safari on my computer, but for research and for work, right? Yep. But anything personal is almost always going to be my iPhone or my iPad. And I predict that as more and more personal browsing habits go to your connected devices that do not have cookies, there's a big need for an alternative cookie. So I don't know what that's going to be called. Right now, the device ID or the mobile ad ID is becoming a proxy for that. And I think that ends up being the central point where all the identity data is extrapolated from. Today, your central identity data is extrapolated, at least when you're using online and cross-device, on IP address, cookie, email, mobile ad ID. It's like a composite ID that's attempting to identify you cross-device, but it might be something completely different. I don't know.
So as a marketer, for kind of two of your predictions here, the blockchain and just now looking at different identifiers, do you think that this is something that can help solve the ad fraud problem we're seeing? I think we saw someone say it's 16 billion this year. Is that what it was?
Yeah. You know what, man? I'm just going to say this. I have realized over the last couple of years, just digging into this, that there are people that are very happy that ad fraud exists. Do you know what I mean?